my manpower believes in me, and if my manpower, I've given them all the support during this time, they'll come back with vengeance. They'll come up with the resilience.
Hi Satya, thank you so much for joining us today. Everyone, we have
Hi,
Satyabrata
hi, hi.
with us. He heads the Strategic Alliance at the Laqshya Media Group. And we're so glad to hear from you, Satya. I'll quickly jump on to the first and the main question. One, has the
Yeah.
business been affected for Laqshya advertising? If yes, in which verticals, more versus less? And what are you guys doing to manage your team at this time?
See, we're in the business of outdoor, right? We are in the business of experiential. We are in the business of IP creation. We are in the business of airports. And unfortunately, everything is, so we are all indoors, right? So the outdoor business is completely down. There's no events happening, so the event vertical is completely down. We cannot do an IP. We had multiple IPs coming, so we had to shut all the IPs, and it's on hold everything. And there's no airline flying, so the airport business it stands still. So basically, it's currently no business being operating. Yeah. Situation, it's a situation, Pooja. But if you honestly ask me, taking it this time as a course correction for all of us to think over it. Interestingly, what we did is, in this very bad times, because we had a plethora of artists, so we have tied up with this company called Hello, and what do you call, musical shows with the different artists. We did with Mohammed Irfan, we did it with Amit Trivedi, with Rekha Bharadwaj. In this kind of situation, also we pulled off something. Yeah. We will do something on the gaming very soon. We have another IP called Social Nation. So there are a lot of social influencers who are in our reportage. So we will get them to talk to people. They have a massive fan base who are only sitting at home. So we were trying to take that particular platform and try to monetize it in some way or the other.
And Satya, what is the size of the team at Laqshya Media Group?
Laqshya hovers around, but
Right.
it will be around 450 to 500 people across all verticals. Yeah.
Right. So right now, are all of them working from home, or are some of them kind of on a bench waiting for the lockdown to get over?
We all are working from home, and we all are working at different things. So for instance, we have told the teams to create new innovation ideas. We've told the teams to create new pitch plans for the clients. So what will happen, Pooja, is once everything settles down, once we are back, we'll be ready with multiple innovation ideas, multiple experiential ideas, multiple ideas that the client will be looking forward to. So we'll be rich in terms of content with us.
And Satya, I've spoken to a lot of companies over the last 1 week who have actually, they have had to do layoffs, pay cuts, or they've had to ask people to stay on leave without pay until there is any further notice. Without any timeline, a lot of companies have had to do that. So is Laqshya also trying to do some of those things, and how are you keeping the team's motivation up in these times?
Oh, this is a very interesting question. I think currently you need to believe in your employees. I mean, we at the Laqshya Media Group, coming directly from Mr. Jalan, who is the MD, he just tells us, this is the best time to be calm, best time to be cool, best time to think about how, when we are back, what you can do, right? I'll just give you an analogy. Overall industry size is around 5,000 crore, right? If I lose 3 months or 4 months, the industry size will shrink to around 3,000 or 3,500 crores, right? So, but if I'm ready as a company, if I have my resources correct, my manpower correct, if my manpower believes in me, and if my manpower, I've given them all the support during this time, they'll come back with vengeance. They'll come up with the resilience. So we can take the maximum pie from that revenue which is there, correct? Yeah, that's the way we look at it. So our utmost impetus is on the employees, and about no way of sacking people. We don't think on those lines as of now. Nothing like that. No.
Good. That's actually very good, Satya, but it's also an indication that the cash reserves are decently good, because irrespective of the size of the company, we have spoken to multiple, anywhere between 10 crores to even 500 crores. companies, but a lot of them who work on a very monthly P&L kind of a basis, and suddenly because sales are
Yeah.
at zero, not everyone can afford to give that kind of luxury to the employees so that they can stay and think on something which will give us results much later. But it's amazing to hear that this huge bunch of employees are managed so well.
Last month, we gave the salaries to our employees 15 days back. So you can see the kind of confidence we want to build in the employees.
Yeah, Satya, so to the founders who might be watching right now, what are some of the tips and tricks or strategies that you might want to share so that they can sail through these times very peacefully?
First thing is the safety of the employee. Once, if they're getting COVID, they need to take care of them, take care of the family. That's important. That builds trust to the company, right? Second thing, the most important thing is the cash flow. The cash flow of the company, the reserve of the company, blood flow, right? Blood flow of the business. So you need to keep it very, very sanctity. The cash is sanctity. So hold on to your cash. Third, I'll say, because the liquidity is very important. So that they have to be very, very critical about that. Other thing which is very important is no, like you said, a lot of people are looking at taking out employees. That's a very defensive reaction. No defensive reaction. No pessimism. So be very realistic that yes, people, there are companies which have gone down in their career, which has come up. So this is another situation. Another thing is a cash flow forecast is very important, especially for the small SMEs and mid-sized companies. This is very important. The other thing is, you know, for a promoter, he need to be that war leader in the sense it should come from him. For instance, in the outdoor fraternity, Laqshya is number one, right? So we need to come out. So a lot of people are looking up to us. Ki ye log kya kar rahe hain? So if we show a very open minded and or that don't worry, so rest of the people have that sigh of relief, right? So you need to behave like that. And the last thing is very important is create a task force. In every company there is a senior management team, so you need to take the onus. For instance, Mr. Rahul Bajaj's son, who is a promoter of the Bajaj Corporate, he came out and said, if heads are going to roll, my head is going to roll first. Or if heads are going to roll, or a salary is going to be cut, my salary is going to be cut first.
Right. And also, Satya, at Laqshya, since you're managing all the head strategic alliance, which is right now the most important department, so to say, what are some of the strategic alliances that you might be thinking of that might help?
Hi, very interesting. So currently the alliances that I'm thinking is I'm speaking to Ernst and Young with respect to COVID band, for the PM's Care Fund, and some activations with the artist and generation of some funds. We can have gaming team as partners. I would proudly like to say that Lakshya has done a social initiative. We have multiple campaigns. You would have got a couple of them for the which is running across just to keep the morale high of the doctors, nurses, paramedics, the police, the bankers, the municipality guys, everybody who's involved. And the other thing, Pooja, I wanted to tell you, which is my own perspective, is I think the world also is going through a detox in some way, and I think we will win over this, Pooja, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Satya, since a lot of companies have taken a hit in terms of revenue, since even FMCG brands or e-commerce companies who just can't deliver right now, so, since they're non-essential services, and we don't know how long this is going to go, and your estimate is absolutely right, it will go on for a few months. So when companies have to conserve cash, which was one of your suggestions also, then advertising and marketing could be one of the places which might get prioritized in terms of reducing the budget there. So,
Mhm.
coming from the advertising industry, how do you see how bad is it going to get, or how soon do you think it will come back to normal? I'm talking about advertising and marketing spend specifically.
So, Pooja, I'll put it like this. See, there is a massive automobile brand who has made their name. Their name is here, right? And post COVID, what they do is their team, they decide, no, our first priority is production. We will not do advertising. There is some other brand who is a much smaller brand. He will take that space. He will come, he will thump into a person's head, and he will get into the top of the mind recall of that brand, right? So the companies are very smart, and there are multiple companies who are sitting in the benches that this big players come down and I jump into it. So I don't see. So it will also depend on category to category. I think the smartest guys in business will take the space and advertise and take into the mind space of a consumer, because the
Right.
consumer will always consume what he's seeing. Yeah, yeah. So
Yes.
that piece I'm very confident about.
Good. Great. Satya, very helpful inputs. One last question before we sign off. What is the first thing that you're going to do once the lockdown gets lifted?
I want to go home. I've been stuck. Actually, my family is in Bombay. I'm here. I want to go home. No, I'll tell you something. So this is also to all the entrepreneurs and everybody. I think we always wanted a break, and we never got a break.
Hmm.
This is an amazing time that we have got a break, and I would request all professionals, entrepreneurs, everybody in the ecosystem to look within yourself, do a bit of yoga, meditation, everything they have not done. Like I cook, I do multiple other things, and when you're into your own zone, it gives your the other side of your mind opens, the creative side of your mind open, the other intellect. So when I'm sitting at home, I'm getting multiple ideas how to make the company much bigger, larger, and very very differentiated kind of things. So as soon as I go back, the first thing I would do is reinforce the confidence within the employees, and tell them, guys, this happens. The world has come through multiple pandemics, multiple years. So no negative discussion at all. Nothing to. So just go and spread positivity.
That's very, very, very optimistic and very positive, Satya, which is exactly what a lot of entrepreneurs and founders and business owners actually need right now. Good. So thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Satya. Thank you so much for being a part of this. It's been a real pleasure, like always. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pooja, and I'm wishing you, your entire team at Whiskers, and everybody all the very best. You guys are doing a very good job. I think if you ask me, you are one of the most valued companies, going to be one of the valued companies for time to come. You do amazing work, and keep doing the good work, and give my wishes to all your employees. All the very best. Best luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.